Access code
one. Good evening, everybody, and welcome. My name is Rick Murphy. I'm in Austin, Texas, and on behalf of my wife, Paige, who's my business partner and the love of my life, my sons, Cole and Kyler, we are pleased to have you with us tonight with our live team and our esteemed guest, Dr. Gary Lindner. Our goal tonight is very simple. It is to give you information, to let you know about something that's very special to us, that's meaningful, that can really change your life and the lives of a lot of other people. It's the second best news I've ever gotten in my life in terms of a message that impacted my life, and it's a great honor and pleasure to have you take a few minutes out of your life. You know, this next few minutes that you watch this or you listen to this tonight could change your life if you take the time to invest in it. This video is not going to compete for your time. It's something you have to watch and invest yourself in to get information so that you can live the life that you want to live. And we're going to tell you tonight about a balanced life and some things to think about and a company that can deliver them in a way that you can benefit your life and what Nikken's all about. And then I'm going to give you the business plan strategy called the Nikken plan, which is a simple, duplicable path that you can start doing tomorrow. And we're ready to go. So, Gary, I'm going to give you a big introduction in a second, but are you ready to get in the saddle and help some people have a little fun, make a little money, and help a few people?
I sure am, Rick. Ready to go.
Awesome. Now, let me tell you. I'm going to read this a little bit official because when you get a guy with this many credentials on, you got to actually read the bio. For me, you can just say "dumb built Nikken," not my wife, but me. For Dr. Gary Lindner, he's president and CEO of Wellness Begins at Home. Excuse me. He received his doctorate in physiology from Clemson. He has held faculty positions at major universities, published numerous research papers in his field. Dr. Lindner has over 30 years of business experience and built very large multi-million-dollar businesses. So Gary's a guy that's academic. And Gary, you're rare. You've been in colleges and you can actually do it in the real world too, man. That makes you a rarity, isn't it? So that's a heck of a deal. Someone that can actually teach it and do it. Multi-million-dollar biotech companies. He's provided education solutions for companies, families, and individuals for healthy living. He's partnered with Nikken. He's one of the most dynamic business builders in Nikken. This is a guy that knows the body. He understands the mind. He understands the business world. He understands what makes things happen. He will be one of the biggest stars. He already is in this Nikken. In the launch that we're about to do, he will be one of the top income earners in Nikken. So you guys are in for a real treat tonight. So live siders, will you help me welcome all the way from Lodi, California, live with us tonight, Dr. Gary Lindner.
Yay! All right.
All right, Gary, what do you say you take it away, my friend? I'm going to make you the presenter, and you can get going, all right?
Thank you, Rick. I'm really happy and just super excited to be here, and thanks for having me on this evening. I'm going to go through a presentation. This presentation is called A Life in Balance, and really what it's going to elucidate is that, you know, everybody can have a prevention-focused lifestyle. I mean, we've got some health challenges in our country, and it's not going away. It's not getting better. It's getting worse and worse. And we in Nikken believe we have a solution for that. We really do. And in fact, this first slide, actually, I guess 2 slides, what happened, is that belief does not come from success. Success comes from belief. I think just about everybody on this call would agree with that. And there's a number of things in Nikken that we believe. We'll get to that. And we can have belief as individuals. And what's cool about Nikken is we can have belief in teams, in groups of individuals, of like-minded individuals. You know, let me use an example. Mike Trout, superstar for California Angels, which Yahoo, they just won their division there. Do you think he believes they can go through the championship series and go to the World Series and win? He does. I'm sure he does. Do you think his teammates believe that? Absolutely they do. And that's the power, and that's the power that we have here with Nikken too. We believe that everyone has the right to a clean, healthy environment and the ability to build a life, not just earn a living. You know, Nikken's centered, its foundation is called the 5 pillars of health. You can see it on the wheel there. And that's 5 areas: a healthy body, mind, family, society, and finances. But more importantly, with each of those areas, your life being in balance. And I think you would agree that all these areas in our lives are very interrelated. Let me give an example. If we're having some health challenges, and our body is out of balance, do you think that affects our mind, what we're thinking? Do you think it affects our family, our loved ones around us? Do you think it affects our friends and the people we hang out with? Do you think it affects our finances? Sure it does. Good example, biggest cause of bankruptcy in the U.S. right now is medical bills. It just increased from 50 to 62% of all bankruptcies. If we look at our finances and those are out of balance, does that affect our body, our health, our balance there, our mind, what we're thinking, our family, people we hang out with? And what does it cause? It causes stress. What's the biggest killer in our country? Stress and stress-related disease. We're going to talk about three concepts this evening. And what we're going to talk about is our busy bodies. Basically, everything our bodies need to do to stay in balance or be healthy. I'm going to talk about how our world has changed, specifically our toxic environment and how that is affecting us. And then we're going to talk a little bit about choices that we make every day that affect us physically, emotionally, and pretty much in all areas of the 5 pillars of health. This little guy here is pretty cute, but it looks like he's not doing much. But there's a lot of things going on in his body. I like to use an example. This is an example of something we do every second of our life from the day we're born and then on. It also is probably the largest energy consumption, thing that takes the largest energy consumption that we have in our entire life. When I ask this question in public or at a presentation, most people nod their head in agreement and their answer is breathing. And breathing is a good answer, but it's not the one I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is maintaining our bodies at 98.6 degrees, maintaining body temperature. Now, does that need breathing? Do we need oxygen to do that? Yes, we do. Do we need water? Of course we do. We need proper hydration. Do we need fuel? Do we need food? Do we need nutrients? Yes. Do we need the energy of the earth and the sun? Of course we do. Do we need to sleep and recover so we can do that day in and day out? Yes, we do. Our bodies are pretty amazing. In fact, most people agree we're designed to live for 120 years or more in good, vibrant health. There are 10 trillion cells in our body, and we need to replace 6 billion of those every day. So we can replace our largest organ, our skin, every 30 days, our skeletal system every 7 to 10 years, which is our body's second largest organ, our entire gut or stomach and intestinal lining every 7 days, and our lung and our liver tissue every 6 weeks. So I think you'd agree that if we disregard our body's requirements, this could lead to disease or some health challenges. There's a lot of things that impede our body's ability to stay healthy. And what I'm talking about here is environmental toxins. Currently, there's over 80,000 chemicals being used in the U.S., and the EPA's required testing on fewer than 500 of these. That's less than 1%. The other problem is we're adding 20 new chemicals to our environment every week. And this isn't going down, it's going up. The Time magazine cover photo that you see on the slide here that reads "The Poisoning of America." That cover story was published on September 22nd of 1980. So here's my question. Do you think that problem has gotten better or has it gotten worse in the last 30, 40 years? And I think the answer is obvious. It has gotten much, much worse. The toxins are in the air we breathe, the food we drink, or the water we drink and the food we eat. Our intake of toxins currently is much greater than our ability to excrete. And the difference becomes what we call sequestered toxins or our body burden. Now, there's a tipping point in our bodies where we exceed a certain level, and those toxins start to interpret as disease. And what kind of diseases are we talking about? Let's take a look. Environmental toxicity is a factor, and look at this list of all these diseases. The ones in gold are the top 6 in our society, and just look at them. There's a couple of them there that we never heard of, and by all means were not commonplace, just a generation or two ago. You know, chronic disease is the leading cause of death and disability in the U.S., according to the CDC. And every disease on this list have 3 things in common. First, environmental toxicity is a factor in their expression. Second, they are all chronic diseases, which means they don't go away. They need to be treated and managed. And probably the only one there, and the third thing they all have in common, is that they're all preventable. The only one that probably isn't would be the diabetes, type 1 diabetes. But the percentage of 29 million diabetics in our country, the percentage that are type 1, is only 5%. So the vast majority of them could be prevented. Here's the other thing. We spend nearly $3 trillion a year in healthcare costs in this country. 75% of that $3 trillion is spent on treating and managing preventable diseases. And that's something I think that all of us should want to change. And it's not just adults. You know, here's a slide, here's from a study by the Environmental Working Group in 2005. And what they did is took the umbilical cord blood of newborn infants and analyzed this for chemical content. They detected 287 chemicals. So the question we must ask ourselves is not if we are toxic, but how toxic are we? You know, I met with somebody, I was down in Southern California last week, Rick, and I was meeting with a young man, highly educated, degrees in biochemistry. I think he was about 26, 27 years old, and we were talking about this issue. And I asked him, I said, is this something you're concerned with? And he said, I'm concerned with it. He said, but I don't think my peer group is that concerned with it. I said, so the guys you hang out with, the guys your age, you know, your generation, aren't really concerned about that. He says, well, we probably are, but we aren't concerned about things that might happen 30, 40, 50 years to us down the road.
Right.
And I said, let's talk about that for a second. I said, here's the thing. This is a generational problem, and here's what I mean. My parents, I'm 62 years old, my parents, when they were born, probably had somewhere between 50 to 100 toxic chemicals in their blood, and there is some documentation to that that I've seen. My generation were probably born with 150. Current generations being born are close to 300. So I said to this young man, his name was Eric, I said, Eric, I don't think you're talking about 3, 4 decades down the road. I think you're talking about 1 or 2, to where this body burden starts to affect your health in these types of chronic diseases. And I think everybody on the call would agree we're seeing younger and younger and younger people having heart attacks, stroke, diabetes, cancer, all these chronic issues. So I'd be a little concerned, Eric. I said, because I don't think you're talking 40, 50 years. You were compromised more than your earlier generations just because of the amount of toxins that we're exposed to. So to ignore this, pretty much, is to ignore the obvious, and it's pretty much the same as sticking your head in the sand and just hoping the problem will go away. Newsflash, it's not going to go away. It's getting worse and worse and worse. So how can you protect yourself? And what's the solution? It's a very complex problem, but it has a very simple solution. And we all know it. We all know the solution. Our moms knew it. Ben Franklin knew it. Time Magazine knows it. It's prevention. And prevention works. A prevention-focused lifestyle works. But here's the thing. We all know it, but nobody does it. So the question I like to ask is prevention effective on a societal basis? And my answer is no. And the answer is no because we all know it, nobody does it, and we just keep getting sicker and sicker. Here's why. People don't want to change. Nobody wants to change. Here's the other thing. Let's say, and when do we change? When do we adopt a wellness lifestyle? It's usually after the fact, after something's been diagnosed or after the first heart attack or stroke, and then people come to their senses and say, oh my gosh, I need to start living a little healthier. But do even they stick with it? Usually not. The incidence of a second heart attack after a first is about 75%. So people are not sticking with it. So this is not, prevention works, but again, it's not effective on a societal basis. So what if, just what if, there was a way to provide our bodies with everything it needs to be healthy, a way to reduce this body burden of contaminants that's affecting our health, and people didn't have to make big lifestyle changes to be healthy? Do people want to hear about that? They would. That's why we have such a great and successful business. It's a wellness home. That's our product. So let's look inside a wellness home. I made statements earlier. If we breathe air, we're going to get contaminants. If we drink water, if we eat food. So let's clean up the air. The wellness home has product technology in there to do that. Also a way to provide you with clean, fresh water. How about whole food nutrition? Could feed those 10 trillion cells so they can replace 6 billion a day. How about natural lighting? What do we usually have? We spend 90% of the time indoors under what I like to call mal-illumination, fake light, when our bodies really want the light of the sun. And we provide that with natural lighting, with the Kinko light. How about quality sleep? Do you think that's important for our health? It is. Also, 7 out of 10 Americans don't sleep well. That's why we hear every day lots of ads for different types of beds. Some of them is just one technology where it's pumping air in and out. That might make you more comfortable, but I'm not sure it's going to be designed, or I'm not sure it's going to provide you with the deep quality sleep, that regenerative sleep that's going to help your body. How about some advanced triphase or magnetic products? Provide some of the energy from the earth. How about a way to deal with discomfort or some challenges in a non-pharmaceutical, non-medicinal way? That's what the wellness home is. We're very unique. It's what we call total wellness. Let's look. Rudimentarily, I agree, but let's look at just all the basic needs that our cells require. And I've shown this slide to many, many health professionals, and from a standpoint of general categories, no one's really been able to say, Gary, you need to add this. So it's pretty comprehensive. These are things that every cell in our body requires to be healthy. Now, here's the very interesting and fantastic part of that. Here is the Nikken product or technology that supplies that need, so we can have healthy cells. Now, everything in here that you see works synergistically together. The wellness home was designed to do that. And I'll give you a good example. Let's say I'm having an issue with a swollen ankle. And we have a wrap for that. We have for every joint on our body. And I'm just going to use that wrap, but I am not providing my body or my cells with all these other requirements. Do you think that wrap is going to be more effective in helping my body if I'm giving my cells all the tools that it needs to be healthy, if I'm properly hydrated, if I have some antioxidant support, I mean, and all the other things that we see here. It is, and it's going to be an exponential benefit. So the wellness home is designed to provide our bodies with all these requirements so we can do the amazing things to maintain our balance, maintain and improve our health. Here's the other really cool thing about it. Nikken products and the wellness home fit our lifestyle. Do we all drink water? Yes. Do we all breathe? Yes. Do we all eat? Yes. Do we turn on a light when we come in the house and it's dark? Yes. Do we all sleep? Yes. These are things that you don't have to go out of your way to implement. And what happens is you don't have to change. The products change you. And amazing things happen when people put their bodies into this greenhouse for humans, if you will, this wellness environment. All of a sudden, they start to feel better, and they wonder, wow, what else can I do to feel better? Because there's no limit to how good we can feel. And that transition goes, all of a sudden they're going, wow, maybe instead of that cheeseburger for lunch, I should have a healthy salad because I'm feeling pretty good. Maybe I should start checking some labels on the foods that we're bringing home that we're buying at the stores. Maybe I should exercise because I feel good enough to exercise. And almost secondarily, people adopt a wellness lifestyle. Let me tell you a quick story. I was doing this presentation at a luncheon, and one of the gentlemen there, the guest that was listening to it, was a cardiologist. And afterwards, I was introduced to him, and I said, what'd you like best about what you saw? And he said, it all makes sense. It's just plain common sense. And I said, yeah, I agree with that. Because I'm not really sure how effective it would be. I said, you mind if I ask you a couple questions? He said, no, go ahead. I said, let's assume I come to you. My blood pressure's high. My cholesterol's high. I'm super stressed. I'm not walking time bomb for a heart attack or stroke. You do all your clinical tests, and you affirm that. You sit down, you call me into your office and have a chat with me. In lieu of, without prescribing medication, blood pressure medication, cholesterol, statin drugs, et cetera, or a surgery, what's your conversation with me? He said, that's easy, that's simple. Diet and exercise. And I said, yeah, lifestyle changes. So I asked him, I said, how effective are you? He looked at me very quizzically and said, what do you mean? I said, of 100 people that come to you like me with all these challenges going on, how many of them listen to you? He looked right at me and he said, none, 0. I said, so that's not very effective. I said, what you just saw today at this luncheon, what you folks are hearing and seeing here tonight is a way to be very effective for people having a prevention-focused lifestyle because they don't have to change. We are changing their environment. That is why, in my opinion, this is the most logical, effective, and affordable prevention-focused healthcare system in the world, bar none. There's nothing else like it. I have seen this happen countless times in my 16-plus year tenure with Nikken, where people have adopted that wellness home and their lives have been changed. We all make choices. Choose prevention. Really understand the power of what we just presented here and see if it's a choice for you. The way I look at it, you can either treat and manage chronic disease or you can prevent it. We just showed you a simple, easy way to do that. And with that, Rick, I'm pretty much done with my portion of tonight's presentation. And again, I want to thank you.
Awesome. Awesome. Jerry, that was awesome. So basically your take on it is that your body's in flux all the time. You constantly need healthy inputs to get a healthy output. And the Nikken products basically give your body the ability to sustain life is really what it is. We don't have products that fix a bad back. I mean, they do that, but really these products sustain life. They give you the environment to sustain your life. Would you say that's a pretty good summary of that, for crying out loud?
I'd say, for crying out loud, you just summed up what I was talking about for 20 minutes, my friend.
It is.
Absolutely,
it is.
Absolutely. And the point here is just start. Start with something. We got some great things, and whoever invited you on this WebEx this evening can share that with you. We're 30%, we're 75% water. It just makes plain common sense to put healthy water in your body.
Well, you know what, Gary, you're a brilliant guy and a great guy, and you're able to explain your thoughts, which a lot of people that have high educations have challenges doing. So thank you for doing that with everybody. That was fantastic. It is, guys. It's such a simple message. What's fascinating about it is that's a message that everybody should know. But in other words, does it really take an impaneled panel of wizards and geniuses and wise people to figure out that if you drink better water, you're going to feel better? Does it really take a team of experts to figure out that breathing, eating, and sleeping and drinking are important? Does it really take a team of experts? If a house plant, if you put it in a windowsill without dirt, water, air, and light, the thing dies. And if you don't, by the way, if you go get the greatest dirt in the world and the greatest light in the world and you don't give it water, the thing's going to be dead. We all know this. All of you guys have air in the tires of your car and oil in the crankcase and transmission fluid and brake fluid, and you do all those things for your car, and we'll talk to you about wellness and prevention and a water system, and somehow you look at that as an expense. Meanwhile, you're putting top-of-the-line air filters in your car. What I'm trying to tell you guys is a lot of people just don't realize how good you can feel. It's not even about being sick. It's not even about prevention. That the way that most people feel today, they're tired, the lethargic, the burnout, the depression, the stress, are not only from the way that we're working, which I'll talk about in just a second, but they're the way that we're treating our bodies. And I'll tell you, if you use these products for 30 days, you'd never give them up again, with or without the business, just because you're going to see the impact they have on your life. They're astounding. What I want to do now, teach you the second part of this, or really it's a continuance of the first part. That's how our plan to take these powerful products and this idea and convert it into a powerful business for you and your family. It's super easy. It's extremely efficient. I'm going to walk you through this Ricky Tick and help you know what we are up to here. I know when you're looking at starting something, everybody out there is busy. You got a lot going on, got a lot happening in your life. And you're just going to say, listen, man, just tell us who you people are, what you do, and how we do it. We believe you're smart. When we show you how we can empower you with this, I think you will absolutely be fired up about it. So I'm going to run through it. It's simple, powerful, duplicable, life-changing. You can download this presentation for free. And this business is just about as easy as reading it to somebody or press and play on a recorded version. And if you don't feel like reading or press and play, hand them a copy, let them read it. This is how easy this business is. So let me get after it. The company that Gary just told you about, these products, this entire company comes from the purpose-driven company. And at Nikken, we're built on a foundation of the 5 pillars of health. We believe that healthy mind, body, family, society, and finances are critical to your family's health and your environment. And I think you all would know that. In fact, most people are going after the 1 pillar of wealth at the expense of the other 4. And I'm just going to ask you, in the words of Jeff Foxworthy, how's that working out for you? Probably isn't working out too well, all right? So let's take a look at it a different way. We believe everyone has the right to a clean, healthy environment and the ability to earn a life, or to build a life, not just earn a living. We believe that you're important. Your company sees how many things you can produce a day. Nikken sees what we can produce in your life. There's a difference. We're built on these principles, the idea of humans being more. We have millions of global customers all over the world. We've done billions in sales. We're in over 38 countries on 5 continents. We're debt-free. We own our own patents. We have high-tech infrastructure. I'll show you some of that in a minute. We're getting another big piece of that next month. We have a simple, easy plan to put balance in your life, and we've combined the best parts of a major corporation, franchise, and networking company to create the world's first home career. About time you can work from home without having to sell 7,000 cases of soap or boxes of juice or some ridiculous thing. We finally pulled it off. So we're ready now for massive global growth. The best analogy I can give you is Nikken is an awful lot like Apple, where they used to just have the Macintosh, and then they became the iTunes, iPhone, iPad company, a very different deal. So it's very powerful. We're about to launch into the next wave, and nothing will be the same once we hit the home business world and the healthcare market. As Gary just said, we believe protecting the environment of your family is vital. That's a core belief of Nikken. As Gary also so aptly said, that we have gone out and studied all the elements that keep you alive. You breathe, you eat, you sleep, you drink, you hurt. You guys all know this stuff. Well, guess what? We partner with some of the smartest minds in the world, some of the best organizations, research institutes. In fact, the name Nikken in Japanese is Nihon Kenko Zoishen Kenkyukai. It means Japanese Health Research Institute. So this is actually a research and development corporation which spends millions of dollars studying your health. So while Western medicine and pharmaceutical companies have studied your disease and how to keep you taking a whole lot of pills at a whole lot of expense, we've spent the last 40 years and millions of dollars trying to keep you healthy. And I always tell people, you've got two choices. You can be our customer and we'll keep you healthy, or you can be theirs and you'll have headache, nausea, diarrhea, vomiting, and sudden recurrences, may cause death, may cause sudden urges to commit suicide, may cause irrational thinking, skin rashes. Which one sounds good to you? Let me tell you, Nikken's list of side effects. Oh, you've got one big one. If you use the stuff, you might be able to not only feel better, but build a giant business and set yourself free. So as Gary said again, what we've done is we took the Certified Wellness Home, which is kind of like the iCloud. You know, it links to iTunes, iPhone, and the iPad. All of our products, the water, air, rest, nutrition. Wait till you see these things. Go to the person who got you on this website. You know, go check out the catalog, or better yet, get out to a live presentation and get your hands on the products. Or best, get your membership and start using it. You won't believe how awesome these products are. Rest, water, sleep, air, nutrition, unbelievable stuff. And what I really want to tell you guys, especially you guys that are looking at building a business, and I kind of look at it like this. If you're on this presentation tonight and you're business-minded, when I tell you this next phrase, it's such a big deal that there's no question about whether you're going to be a part of it if you get the ramifications of this. And I also kind of tell people, if you don't get it, if it doesn't speak to you, just drop off the WebEx at this point, because you're not going to get it. Here's the deal. Can you name another total wellness company anywhere in the world? My question to you is, how do you think a 5A1 rated multi-billion-dollar multinational debt-free biggest and only total wellness company in the world that owns their own high-tech patents and delivery system is going to do stepping into the world's richest, sickest consumer market? You got a lot of people on the live side tonight. I know you guys have been listening, and I don't know how many of you are unmuted. Do you guys think that's a pretty big deal for people to know about right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's huge. So this company's proven by over 4 decades of success and changed lives. Someone finally introduced common sense to healthcare. Hey, let's do this. Instead of giving you 19 prescriptions and a $200,000 procedure, let's give you something that can fix your back for under $100. Let's fix your bad headache for under $40. Let's get you let's get your cholesterol and your blood pressure squared away for $20 a month. Common sense solutions. We're the smart choice. We're the only choice. We are out there to go out and make a difference in the world, one home at a time. We're not going to change the lives of people. We're going to change the lives of a person one at a time, and that means you. Someone's finally made healthcare simple, easy, and affordable, convenient, you name it. If you can sit down, lay down, walk around, breathe air, drink water, you can be healthy with Nikken. It's one of the largest income opportunities that will ever come down the pipe in your lifetime, and I'm going to show you how that works next. We have studied the best parts of a major corporation, the stability, global presence, international patents, and economy of scale without the stress, limited pay, long hours, and risk of losing your job. We've studied the best parts of franchising, which is making a lot of money and owning a business that usually doesn't go out of business because people are going to help you build it. But the downside of franchising is you got to pay about $1 million plus or minus to get the thing started, which is a complete drag. Nobody wants to do that. And then you got to work 80 hours a week for 5 years to make any money. We've taken the best parts of network marketing without, well, network marketing, leaping around, seminars. Hey, the getting started is by 19 bottles of the same stuff, you know, high-priced seminars, all that garbage that almost kept me out of it. We got rid of all that. What we kept was, I love it when people say, I don't want to work in network marketing. I'll say, well, what if I could help you earn $5,000 to $10,000 a month residual the rest of your life so you'd never need another job? Oh, I'd love that. Well, go out and find something else that can help you do that. That's what it is, folks. What we did was we cleaned it up, we set it up, we charged it up. We're going to be the new face of network marketing. We've combined it with the franchise at a major corporation. We are the world's first and only home career. We have the plan, the team of experts to help you begin your Nikken journey. So here's what Nikken does. They do all the hard stuff, R&D, payroll, patents, pretty much everything that costs lots of money they do. We get to go out, help people, talk about it, use the stuff, and have an absolutely great time. We're the marketing team for Nikken. How it works is just about as easy peasy lemon squeezy, as my kid used to say a couple of years ago. We connect to Nikken kind of like iTunes, kind of like Amazon.com. My wife shops on Zulily for the baby. We have about 800 memberships. I just ordered a phone screen protector on Amazon tonight. I got a membership. Well, guess what? I've got a membership with Nikken. For $60, you connect to the company, and I can order all those dozens or hundreds of products. Easy stuff. So my wife and I lay in the bed, breathe the air, drink the water, change the filters, take the nutritionals, organic skincare, wear the magnetics, the M-Strides. There's a lot of stuff. So that's pretty cool. It's part of our life, okay? Now, by the way, my wife and I are both 44. We have a 2-year-old and a 16-year-old. Between the two of us, we take basically one prescription for a moderate thyroid problem. My parents are in their late 60s. They take one prescription between them now. When they started with Nikken, they had a whole cupboard full of them, for crying out loud. That's just a little impact on our family from taking care of ourselves. My son, Kyler, 2 years old, got an ear infection when he started going to a Mother's Day out thing, hanging around a bunch of other kids. We took him in to get the prescription filled for his first and only ear infection. The pharmacist couldn't believe it. He'd never seen a kid that had walked in there at almost 2 years old, never had a prescription filled. So you ask yourself if that membership's paying itself off, okay? I've got a back so bad I couldn't even touch my toes 10 years ago. I was going to the chiropractor 4 and 5 times a week, massage therapy, $82. I got a back flex. It's basically fixed it now for 10 years. The only reason I had to replace it is when I forget, when I'm using the restroom and it falls out. That's just about it, guys. Or when I undress at night, if I leave it somewhere, the thing is awesome. So you think my membership has paid for itself 100 times over? But that's not where the power of the business is. You can connect other people to Nikken. Every time they order, Nikken's going to send you a thank you note in the form of a check for the rest of your life. So my sponsor is being paid every month now for over 10 years. You can not only refer 1 people or 2 people or 3 people, you can refer as many as you want, but that is not where the big kung fu happens. This is where the big kung fu happens. I want you to think about people. Let's say you sponsor your brother, who sponsors their neighbor, who sponsors somebody in Florida, who sponsors somebody up in Iowa. All those people are now in your group, and Nikken's going to give you credit for that, and they're going to pay you residually for the rest of your life. As your group begins to duplicate globally, the goal is to be duplicable yourself. The real business here is the power of duplication. If you look at that, how do you get the person at the bottom to be able to do what the person at the top did? Simple, powerful duplication. So I want you to think about this. If you're like, well, I don't know if I should do this, I want you to think about your current job and think about going there tomorrow and sitting there all day. And then think about if you don't go anymore or you're prevented from doing it because of health or you're fired or downsized or something. Then I want you to think about how your life would be different if you had 100 or 50 or 1,000 wellness homes in your group with all these products flowing through that pipeline times 6%. The best way to describe that is it makes your job look sick. You can't compete with it. It's not even in the same ball game. You can't argue. Guys, there's no logical way you could tell me, oh, no, Rick, I would hate to have a large residual paycheck. I'm going to continue to love what and I love, a lot of people will say, oh, I love what I do. I don't want to hear about Nikken. What that usually means is you've got the job right now that you hate the least that you've had in a while, and you're really busy, and you can't take in more information. I want you to take a breath and just ask yourself, what if I did this? Would it change my life? Not only that, but when you're at the top of this or anywhere in there, when you pass on, you're going to put your children or your heirs in there, and you're giving them an asset so they don't have to work as hard as you had to work. This is your retirement. It's your freedom. It's your kids not going to daycare. It's not having to watch your spouse get bullied at work by somebody that you are powerless to stop. It's the end of your commutes. It's the end of your worried about your bills. It's the end of your having less life. It's the end of your having your dreams put on hold. It's the end of you having to live a life that you really don't want to live, doing a job you really don't want to do, and being afraid you're going to lose it. It is a way for you to get the heck out of there. That's your ticket to freedom. How we get paid is super simple. We have a powerful compensation plan. We don't just build businesses, we build balanced people. If a product costs $10, it's worth 10 points. It's just a points-based system, and the levels are based on how many points you accrue. Products cost dollars, dollars equal points. Nikken adds up all of your points and every one of your team's points, and points equal promotions, and promotions equal freedom. A couple things to let you know: we don't get paid on sign-ups, we don't get paid on trainings, events, or tools. We only get paid when you do, and we only get promoted when you do. What a way to build a life. Come on board at Direct for $60. There's first 4 levels, Senior, Executive, and Silver, and of course Director, based on those points in a calendar month. By the way, once you get there, you can never get demoted. You can only get promoted. It's permanent. And unlike a lot of the companies you see in the industry today, you're paid on all of your volume in Nikken, not just your smaller leg. You can have as many legs as you want in this doggone thing. And once you go Silver, the only way you go Gold is teaching 3 to go Silver. Platinum is 3 Golds. You go Diamond when you've taught 3 other people to go Platinum, and Royal Diamond when you've taught 3 people to go Diamond. It is fair, it is fun, it is profitable, and it flat out rocks. Now, we have a duplicable training system, and I want you guys to follow this. I want you to use it. This is your franchise-type training. Let this business work for you. It's extremely, extremely simple. Step 1, you get connected and get your membership. I think you can all figure that out. It's as easy as pie. You connect to Nikken, set it up. Step 2, we're going to help you set up one of these. It's called a personal web page. Look how cool this is. They can shop. People can join. We got cool videos that tell you about the business. There's videos that tell you about the products. This business, you don't have to carry around hordes of stuff. You basically connect people to your business through here. It's called your personal web page. So there's part 2. Now you've got your membership. You got your page. Next is we want you to order some products. I think that makes sense. You're going to want to use the stuff, okay? What's right there is your Vital Day Pack. I use every one of those things every day. My back flex, the things for my shoes, the vegetables, the Siaga, the fruit, my water bottle, my back flex, the seat. In fact, I used every bit of that thing, every single one of those things today. That pack is $500 even. The cell phone I've got right here in my hand was several $100s more than that pack, and I'm talking about starting a business here. And I'm going to tell you all something right now, and I say this in a good-natured way. If you're over 20 years old and you don't have $500 in disposable income to start this business, how do I say this gently? Your plan ain't working. Okay? If you don't have $500 to start a business, whatever you're doing, it ain't panning out. So you got 2 choices. Either do something else and get a better result, or sit around the house hoping that someday somebody knocks on the door and says, hey, you know, you've been doing that thing for like 18 years and we realize you're broke, but we've decided today's the day since you were so diligent. Here's a check for $1 million. Hey, you guys on the live side, do you think that's going to happen?
Not likely.
So maybe do something else. And this is the smartest something else you'll ever see. This is the closest thing to something for nothing you'll ever find. When I was looking at buying a franchise, the cable that connected the cash registers cost more than it took to start this Nikken business with your day pack. And by the way, when you get that now, you get free bonus bucks back. You get $75 in free products when you order that pack. Pick your favorite nutritional, throw it on auto ship, use it every month, take it. I think you all get that via product of your own products. You got your membership, you got your web page, you got your cool products, you throw in your favorite nutritional on auto ship, and the business is super, super simple. Here's what it is. Teach 3 to reach 3. Who are the 3 coolest people you know? We're going to show them the Nikken plan that I'm showing you right now. We're going to help them get their membership, set up their web page, order their cool gear, throw their favorite thing on auto ship, and then we're going to teach 3 to reach 3. I want you to think about how powerful this business is going to be when it starts going downhill, when you start getting people 1 level, 2 level, 3 level. Think when you're at work and somebody 5 levels deep beneath you is signing up, getting their membership, their page, their products, their auto ship, and teaching 3 to reach 3. I'll tell you what that is. That's you're sitting there knowing my days in here are numbered. We used to call it in the Army being short. You can finally fill in the last of your calendar so you can catch that helicopter and you can DD out of your job and get the heck out of there. That's your freedom. Teach 3 to reach 3. Membership, page, pack, auto ship, MP2A, teach 3 to reach 3. Bottom line, I'm just going to go to this last slide here. There's lots of reasons to join us. You know, and I've kind of gone over those. Do you want to be retired? Do you want your kids out of daycare? You want to just have a better life? You want to travel? Are you tired of not seeing your grandkids because you're too doggone broke to see them? Are you tired of walking past stuff that you like to make your life easier? Do you live out of state? You would like the NFL Sunday ticket without having to find it for free online? You know, do you want to just have some fun, man? Do something so you can be free to have some fun. Do you want to feel better? Do you want to look better? Do you want to be around people that want those things too? That's Nikken. So the last slide is super simple, man. Have some fun, help some people, live your dreams. Just get out and go for the top. Gary laid it out tonight, man. You're a living organism. You got to take care of it. We got the smartest stuff in the world to take care of it. That creates the biggest business you've ever seen, and we've dropped the biggest business model on top of it to perfect an industry that's exploding, which is the whole business industry, and now we're ready to drop the hammer on it, and you're sitting on this presentation tonight when very few people know about it. You are a walking, talking residual income machine in Nikken. Guys, we are Nikken. We are coming. It is time for this company to rise. We are pill bottle breakers and job takers, and that's what we do here in Nikken. And if you sign up in this company, your job's going to be hiding out in Syria ducking bombs, because we're going to put some crosshairs right on that doggone thing, and it's going to be through. If you got ailments and pill bottles, they're going to be sneaking around Syria. We're going to put some red dots on them too, and we're going to flat out take them out. So if you want a better life and you want more, you got to join up with people that are being more, with a company that's doing more, built on humans being more. And we need the help. We're upsizing. And if you've ever wanted to be somewhere where people are doing something and you're going to get paid by hanging out with them, guess what? You just got 3 sevens on your slot machine. It's your night. So thank you. I had a great time. Gary, you got anything else you want to add on this thing, man, before we let them go?
I usually just advise people, especially you new people on the line, do your due diligence here. Check this out. I mean, this is a real thing, a real company with real solutions. It's a generational effect we're going to have. I think we can actually eradicate chronic disease, and we can all live happy, healthy, successful lives. So, you know, check it out. It's very, very cool. Probably the best decision in all of the things I've ever done in my life that I ever made for myself, my children, our health. I mean, I just love it to death. And
you're talking, Gary, you're talking about, you know, a PhD, teaching in major universities, multi-million-dollar biotech firms. I mean, man, you guys don't know Gary, but that don't know Gary, he breeds cattle for like dudes flying on 747s and drop $1 million on bulls. I mean, I'm not talking. Gary isn't set up in Oklahoma with a shack. I mean, you guys are talking the top of the top of the top. And for you to say, Gary, this is the best thing you've ever been a part of, that's a pretty strong statement. I've never heard you say that. That's a strong statement, considering your background.
You know, and I don't know who else is on the line that's kind of somewhat like myself, but when I do something, I like to give it my full effort. And this business is unlike any other business I've ever been in. Had I not really taken the time and the energy to investigate the possibilities for myself and the people I care about here, I'm not sure I'd be on this call. I think I'd have probably worked myself to death. I mean, 62 years of age, I've got peer group friends of mine that are, you know, suffering from a lot of chronic disease. Some of them aren't here anymore. I mean, I feel better and healthier than I have ever been since I was in my 40s. Yeah, it's just very cool, very cool.
Nice. Well, I'll tell you what, my friend, I think that you'll regret not doing enough, having enough, or feeling good enough. I don't think you'll ever regret feeling good, being balanced, and doing something you can believe in. And I'll tell you what, that's a pretty beautiful thing. So I want to thank you all for joining us tonight. If you're watching for the first time tonight, I look forward to down the road when we meet you, be it, you know, a month or a year or 10 years, and you say, hey, man, I was on that thing that day, or I listened to it online, and I kicked the tires and lit the fires, and because of that, here's the things that happened and all the good that was created. That's my biggest hope out of this doggone thing. So, Gary, I like playing Nikken with you, man. Let's do it more. What do you say?
Absolutely. And if people really want to see what it is and what we do and how we do it, be in San Antonio next month.
Absolutely. That's a big 10-4.
I couldn't give you better advice than that. It's going to rock, and we're going to have a great time.
Right. That's a big 10-4 on that, good buddy.